and welcome back to Wedding Secrets with me, Claire. Whether you're new to the channel or perhaps you've been taking tips from some of our other videos, welcome back, or welcome if you're a newcomer. Now, my name's Claire and I work here with Wedding Secrets. Wedding Secrets, we've been around for a very, very long time and we specialise in lots of aspects of weddings. One of the key things that we want to do with our YouTube channel is a place for you to come to find out more ideas, to help resolve problems, and as well have some fun, because who doesn't love talking about weddings? Now, today's video is going to be all about how to make your wedding shoes more comfy. So, as I said earlier in the intro, this video is not just for our brides and grooms who may be wearing heels. This could be for your bridesmaids, it could be for your wedding party guests, or maybe you're not getting married at all. Maybe you found us on YouTube and thought, I could do with some of those tips. One thing that I will tell you is the 5 tips I'm about to share with you. No matter if you use them for your wedding, you will use them for the rest of your life and you'll be so thankful. Now, here at Wedding Secrets, we have worked with thousands of couples. Lots of different members of Wedding Secrets have different backgrounds within different wedding areas. So myself, I am very passionate about beauty. I'm very passionate about makeup. So today's video is how to make your wedding shoes as comfy as possible. Now, the way it's going to work, I'm going to be sharing with you our best 5 tips here at Wedding Secrets. Again, like I said, these are tips you are going to use for the rest of your life. So, why is this video needed? Perhaps you're somebody who wears high heels all the time. You have no problem. However, one thing to consider when getting married, you could literally be in your high heels from 7 in the morning till 1 the next morning. So that really long time span, that's quite a lot of pressure on the foot itself. Maybe you're a bride who has never ever worn high heels, but you're gonna do it for your big day. All I can say when wearing high heels, welcome to a world of pain. But do not panic, there are key things that you can do to help avoid that pain suffering, which we will share with you in just a moment. Now, perhaps you are a wedding guest or a bridesmaid. The hardest thing about wearing high heels for a wedding is, although at the beginning of the day you might be running around at the ceremony, then you're sat down for a long time eating and your feet start to relax, then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock at night and you're up and you're on the dance floor, and then your feet again are going through all of this pain. It's a very long day. So let's start. 5 best tips to making your wedding shoes as comfy as possible. Number 1, wear it out. What we mean by wear it out, if you have got a brand new pair of high heels, do not wait until your wedding day. And I know this is hard, because let's be honest, on our wedding day, everything's brand new. You've got beautiful new hair, nice makeup, a new dress, a new veil. You love that feeling of a new pair of heels. Don't, because what's gonna happen is when a foot goes into a heel, and you'll know what I mean if you're a heel wearer, your foot the heel has to adjust to the foot itself, and there's lots of problem areas on the foot that can rise. So for example, the ball of the foot, so the pressure can lean on the ball. You could have right at the back, it could begin to scratch just behind the ankle. The toes, especially if it's a pointed shoe, your toes might become really sore, especially your little toe right on the side. There are so many areas. If you have straps, the straps could be hurting your foot. There are so many aspects to a shoe. Also, if you need a wide fit and you don't have a wide fit shoe, that's going to cause problems. If you have very long, thin, narrow feet and your feet are slipping out of the shoe, unless you wear them before your wedding, you're not going to know about problems like this. Yes, you might have tried the shoes on at the wedding dress shop, but you won't be walking around using the shoe as you would at your wedding. So wear it out. Wear them around the house. You're not going to get them dirty. Wear them around the carpet, wear them around the floorboards. Get used to walking. Let your shoe and let your foot begin to get used to each other. And your foot almost has, your shoe has as a memory. So then when you put your shoe back in on your wedding day, your feet almost go, oh, okay, yes, we're fine. And it gives the material of the shoe. The shoe material might need to stretch a bit, and you would have done all that. So weeks and weeks and weeks before your wedding, months if you can, get used to wearing your shoes. Wear them around the house, do the washing up in them, wear them, sit down in them, we call it breaking them in, break your heels in. Now, number 2, this leads on from number 1, and number 2 is do your prep work, prep your shoe. So for example, some of the problems that I said in the first one that you're gonna have with your shoes, you can prep your shoes, so you can almost get your shoes ready before your wedding. There's lots of different ways, especially if you found that dream high heel, you don't want to change your shoes. There are alternatives to help make it more comfortable, but again, prep your shoe, but then practice. So here's some tips. If the shoe is rubbing on the back, a small plaster with a bit of foam inside, that can really help ease that. If the shoe's too wide, you can have extra straps put in, practice with those straps. You can also, just on the actual outsides of the shoe, you can start by layering, there's a company called Dr. Scholl's, and they do padding. It's almost like a very thin padding, and you can physically cut them yourself so you can begin to pad out the sides. Try a company called Party Feet as well. These are gel insoles. They'll sit just at the ball of the foot. Start using all of these different tools. See if they help you. See if they can almost aid some of that comfort. If your shoes do need a little bit of extra treatment, I'm going to talk about that at point number 4. So hang on for that. Right, number 3. Now, sometimes, and not a lot of us realize this, if your shoe is not really working with your foot, it might not be the shoe, it might be your foot. So a little bit of pamper for your feet. A great way to do this is if you've got dry feet, it's gonna rub against the shoe. Different ways to combat dry feet. You could use a very slight bit of a moisturizer. Coconut oil is another wonderful one. Body oil, body butter, you can start regularly moisturizing. The only thing I would do is do be careful not to do too much, because you don't want the opposite where your foot is slipping and sliding out of those heels. Find a middle ground. Right, number 4. This is if your shoes are that little bit tight, little bit loose, they don't fit quite right. Here's a tip. Only if the shoe is leather. So put on your biggest, fluffiest socks, your chunky socks. When you put these on, right, squeeze into your new high heel. It's not going to be comfortable, but if you can squeeze your hardest, then with your blow dryer, those areas that are causing you pain, just literally give them a tiny little bit of heat, not for long, and then the leather material will start to heat and it will mold ever so slightly to the foot, and it just changes that shape. But I will give you caution, it doesn't always work, and if your shoes are very, very expensive, you might not want to risk that technique. But it's just an idea, just a way of you playing with some different ways to making your shoes comfortable. Right, number 5. I'm gonna say this for every single bride and groom and bridesmaid and flower girl in the world. In fact, as a guest to weddings, even I do it. Take a backup pair. Take a backup pair of shoes. Have them in your bag, your comfiest high heels, your boots, your sandals, your trainers, your flip-flops. It does not matter. Have the backup pair in your bag with you, or have your bridesmaids bring them, because by the end of the night, nobody really cares if you're in your best high heels. Everybody wants to get on the dance floor. Everybody wants to have a good old boogie. So one thing I would say, and that's for everyone, even if it's a flat shoe, an uncomfortable shoe can really ruin your day. And I'm sure you've been in that situation in the past. I'm sure you've experienced that. Just take that out of the equation, take your backup shoes, and you know, if all else fails, you can pop on your best pair of Nike trainers and you'll be fine. So I hope some of these tips have helped you. I promise you, if you can just practice in your heels before the big day, you'll already get used to your high heel. You'll know if it's gonna work for you for the day or if it doesn't. If it's really showing signs of real discomfort, none of the tips are working, you might want to consider going for another shoe or just having the shoe for the pictures. Right, so best of luck. Do pop onto our YouTube channel though. We have a few more videos on alternative types of shoes as well for your wedding, which are definitely worth checking out. We'll see you on those. In the meantime, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and best of luck shoe shopping.